Okay, hi guys. If you're joining us now, this is I guess it's technically like my third or fourth live stream that I'm doing in StreamYard. So any sort of technical issues or glitches or anything like that that may arise, um, I apologize in
So
advance. Yeah,
I can see you now.
yeah.
You came back. I didn't see you for a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the reception
Okay.
might be, yeah, the reception might not be great. But again,
On
it's
my
StreamYard.
end?
Oh no, I'm not
Is it
sure.
on my end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your video is kind of freezing up a little bit. But
Okay.
like I
Do you
said,
want me to go out and come back in on the Wi-Fi?
no, I don't think so. I don't because I'm not sure. Well, actually, yeah. Why don't you try that real quickly? Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay. So, so while she does that, guys. So basically, yeah. Thank you for tuning in to this live stream today. Hope you're having a good weekend and are ready for the week ahead. I know I am. But also, yeah. So, while my guest tries to, I guess like fix things on her end. I want to explain that today I'm doing an interview with another actor, or actress rather. Her name is Faye Yvette McQueen, and she will be joining me today. You just saw her, but she's trying to fix her internet connection. But yeah, I will be interviewing her today, and it is a live stream. So if you guys have any questions for her or anything like that, feel free to ask them in the chat, and we will get to them. But yeah. So sit back, sit tight, and here we go. So how is everyone's weekend going so far? And good. Can't believe it's already Sunday. This year is going by quick. This year's going by very quick. Um, yeah, it's already August, I think, right? Technically August. Happy August, I guess. So it's August now. So which is cool. So that means we are definitely more than halfway done. We only got what 4 months left of the year. It's crazy. That is crazy. So, mhm. Yeah, like I said, if you guys when she gets back in here, you guys have questions for Faye or anything like that after she's done introducing ourselves and we're into the interview already, then yeah, sure, ask away. So hope everyone's having a good Sunday. So and here she is again. So okay,
Yay.
so yeah, so it is yeah. I mean the internet connection, I'm not sure. It's not like super great, but it's fine. It's a little bit better. So we'll just go into it. So yeah, like I said, we're live right now. And so there will definitely be more people coming in to see this now and after the fact. So, but yeah, Faye. So, like I said, you are my guest for today. So, thank you very much for setting time out of your very busy schedule to sit down with us and talk for a little bit. So,
No.
So this being my YouTube channel, it is called AMBW channel. So we focus on mostly like interracial dating and romance, and mainly between Asian men and Black women, and but I also part of this channel also is that I also want to shine light on actors of color, and so for me personally, as an Asian male, I'm not an actor or anything like that, but I do know how tough it is for other Asian males in the industry. I mean it's tough all around in general, but especially for people that look like me and stuff, and I've already spoken to a few of them, and they've shared their very candid thoughts and experiences on that subject. And of course, I also want to interview other actors with color, and get their perspective on things. And I know that you've been at it for a while, and that you probably have a lot of sort of jewels or gems to drop, about the industry and about what your experience is like. So yeah. But sorry, I know I rambled on. Basically, before I say anything else, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. Well, my name is Faye Yvette McQueen. I am an actress, former dancer, former model, Diana Ross lookalike, stunt performer, and I was born and raised in Jamaica, New York. I currently live in New York City. I lived in Atlanta for a while. I'm currently in Atlanta, working on a show now here, so I'm here. So I'm kind of like back and forth between Atlanta and New York. Let's see. I used to teach school, public school. I used to teach Spanish. I used to teach dance. Um, I'm pretty much a jack of all trades, and I'm really, really fortunate and glad that you asked me to do this because it couldn't have happened at a better time. So thank you so much.
Oh yeah, yeah, no problem. And I have actually, sorry, I actually have been lucky enough to work with you once. And yeah, I do want to say that it was also definitely on my end. It was definitely worth it because we actually tried working once before, but that didn't work out unfortunately. So, but I knew that I
Yeah.
definitely wanted to work with you again. So it worked out in the end. And so I am currently editing that, and we also have a little bit of reshooting to do on that. But I mean, like as far as your scenes go, you're fine. So we don't. Your scenes are perfect for that. So that's not an issue
I
there.
wanted to
But
tell
we.
you also, it was wonderful working with you. And the reason why I couldn't work with you the first time, always a good thing, right? I was booked to work on a show called Succession, and that was a lovely experience. And the second time around, I got booked again. I was in Atlanta. So you are my lucky charm. Trust me.
Uh, well, thank you. But yeah, I'm glad that we finally did get to work together. And what else was I gonna say? Yeah. So I know prior to this meeting that you sent me a lot of clips and whatnot, and we will definitely get to all of those clips.
Sure.
Because like I said, for everyone watching at home, I mean, yeah, it is mostly about dating and romance, but it is also a platform for people of color, Asians and blacks, and also Hispanics, anyone in general who wants to come on to basically just introduce themselves to people and get out their thoughts and feelings and whatever's going on in their life at the time. I
Right.
feel YouTube is awesome for that. So so yeah, I just have I guess a few questions for you. Uh,
Sure.
Number one, um, I'm not okay. So do not take this like the wrong way at all, Faye. At all. Like I have 100 respect for you. So please do not get what I'm about to say twisted at all, and any
Okay.
sort of negative thing. I know I follow you on Facebook, and we're also friends on Facebook, I think. So I see every time you post on there, and I'm not gonna say the number, but I do know how old you are, close to it. And I'm just saying how, because I look at you and I'm like, I know girls my age that like don't look, half as good or as youthful as you do. So, what is your secret?
Well, first of all, I am not going to take that in any way negative, and I will tell everyone the big 60 is coming in December.
Hmm.
So please, I take that. That is one of my things that I take, and I brag about it. How part of it is living my life to the fullest. And because I've never been married and I don't have children and I never really worked in corporate America, those are your three stressors. Those three things can aid you. Those three things can give you guidelines as to which you should behave. You can't be a certain way behaving a certain way in corporate America. You can't behave a certain way and have children, and you can't behave a certain way and be married. Well, I had no guidelines. So to me, my youthfulness and my youthful thinking didn't have I wasn't told when to stop. And when you're not told to stop, you just keep going. The other thing is my parents. My parents are, my mom has passed. She passed away 4 years ago, but my mom still did not look her age. My dad, incredible, could look like my boyfriend. Okay. And he loves that. I'm like, whatever, dad. But I've been mistaken for us being a couple before. So it's the genes. Um, it's not having anyone to tell me how I should act. And then it's also because of the lifestyle that I lead. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I have nothing against people who do drugs and drink. Um, but but my only vice is I don't get enough sleep. So I think I could look younger if I got more sleep. But I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't party a whole lot. People think I do. So I kind of tend to lead a kind of like a L7 lifestyle
Mm.
outside of this world, outside of what I do. The other thing is my diet. I've always, when I went to college, I was introduced to being a vegan, but I'm really not a vegan. I was introduced to being a vegetarian, excuse me, but I go in between vegan, vegetarian, everything in moderation because my mom was a nurse. We ate very healthy square meals, we ate 3 times a day. We had cooked food. We didn't do a whole lot of processed foods other than, back then they were like, oh, canned goods are good, but now we know better. But other than that, that's really it for me. I drink a lot of water. Um, and I exercise when I feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is maybe because of my dance background, I've kept my weight a certain way. I don't know what else to tell you. I tell people, oh, I use natural things like aloe vera on my face every day. I exfoliate. I exfoliate with gloves. I use my body. I exfoliate anything on my face as a scrub. And I meditate and I use positive thinking every day.
Mm. Yeah. Well, definitely. Thank you for sharing all that with us. I'm sure that all the women and yeah, mostly all the women in here are probably very thankful for that because there's a lot of really good tidbits in there. Um, so yeah, okay. So I want to jump into one of the main reasons why you're here is because you are a working actress. That's what you do. And you see, obviously, you love what you do, right? You love it. That's why you're here. You know what I mean?
It's my
Um,
second passion. Yes.
yes, definitely. So I want to pull up some of your work, some of your clips that you sent me,
Mhm.
and for everyone watching this right now, and also after the fact, just know that this is not the first time that I tried to do this. For anyone who has seen my live streams before, you'll know that I've had an issue with playing audio on the live streams. So this time is no different. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that, but in the meantime, I'm gonna play some clips that Faye sent me, and
If you want
let's
me
see
to
here.
tell you what's going on in the clip, I'd be more than happy while it's going on. It's up to
Yeah, yeah.
you.
No,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let me see here. So which one do I want to send first? So I'm gonna open up your reel right here on Vimeo that you sent
Okay.
me.
Sure.
And let me pull up the screen so you know which one I'm talking about.
Okay.
Um, so there you go. Okay.
Right.
So yeah. So
So
again, we
this
want.
first one is The Sinner. It was my first recurring role. That right there is Equalizer. I worked with Queen Latifah. I was extremely nervous. It may not look like it, but I was totally nervous. It took me 2 days to recuperate from that right there. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm telling you, all eyes were watching me. I had a couple of background friends that I used to do background with. They were right there. This was my first background bump up role to uh, principal. I was on the Born Legacy and Rachel
Mhm.
Weisz and Ed Norton. I didn't even know who they were, but and this is a show. It used to be a series called I Am Homicide. I play a wife. I'm trying to act like I don't know what's going on, but my husband was involved in the murder. I kind of like this because it's kind of like new sassy, and playing dumb. This was kind of like a little comedy. I did a short film for someone called The Disposables, Mickey Parker. This, oh my God, this was my stunt role on Luke Cage. I worked with Alfre Woodard, and 10 years to that date, I was supposed to, well, I auditioned for her on Family That Prays to be a double. I didn't get it. I went home crying. I swear to God. I got this role. I told her about it. I got into the makeup chair. She was sitting there. I was sitting there. And I told her, I said, Alfred, I should have been your double. I said, I went home crying. She says, you're with me now. Shut up. That's me on Orange is the New Black. I was a stunt double for Lorraine Toussaint. That was my very first stunt role. This is, I was working with some two really, really smart men who did a show. This is called End of Life. And no, Death's Door is about end of life. And I had a really good scene with Antonio. I forgot his last name, but he's kind of famous. And this was a short film by a friend that I did in Connecticut. I played a detective. I love playing a detective. So that was a really fun role for me right there. And
Oh, wait, can I say something really quickly?
sure.
First of all, yeah, I'm very, very happy for you that you are part of all these things. But the one thing that I want to say is, like, I'm geeking out right now because Luke Cage is one of my favorite fucking shows of all time. It's seriously, And I do remember that scene that you're in where you get stabbed. Like they stab, excuse my French, they stab the fuck out of you. In
They
that
did.
scene, and I want to say that yes, this is my first time talking to someone who is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm kind of geeking out right now. Actually, I can say that I have an actual MCU connection. Like
Yeah,
how cool is
guess
that?
what? I'm here now working on another Marvel show. I can't tell you about it. I wish I could. So you're really gonna geek the F out
Uh,
when you find out what I'm working on. I'm super excited. I just signed my contract. Blew me away. I'll be here for 2 weeks. So let's just say I'm moving on up.
Okay, so yeah, so I know I was guys. Sorry, guys. I am sort of like detracting from the main point, but yeah,
No worries.
I love the MCU. I love and going back to Luke Cage. That is like okay. So me personally, I was not a fan. Hopefully you weren't on the show at all, but Iron Fist. I was not a
No,
fan of
I
that
wasn't
show.
on that.
Yeah, not a lot of people are a fan of that show. So when that show when that show got canceled like 2 or 3 years ago, I was actually really happy. But then after that, it got worse because Luke Cage got canceled,
I
and then
know, two
yeah,
seasons. That was really we were shocked by that.
yeah, absolutely, and then Jessica Jones and Daredevil after that, and so
Yes.
everything got canceled. But the thing about that is that while it was on, Luke Cage is still one of my favorite shows,
Yes.
and for me personally, I think that it's one of the few shows that got better because there were like you said there were 2 seasons of it only 2 seasons, which is such a shame, but it only got two seasons before it got canceled. And but for me personally, it was one of the probably the only show out of all the Marvel shows so far that has actually gotten better. The second season is better than the first one.
I agree.
Yeah, it was a really good show. What's his name? Cheo, what's his last name? I don't remember. The showrunner for it. He I mean, like he was very good at it. I think he ran a really tight ship, and it was just very good. And I'm so
Yes,
happy
he
that
did. When
yeah.
we were on set, we knew what was going to happen. Everything was great. It was perfect. It was boom, 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 boom. You knew where you had to be. And this was before COVID. I can't. I mean, I've got to excuse me. This was before anything else that happened. That's going on right now. Sorry for that. I hope that
No,
didn't
it's
work.
okay. It's okay.
Okay. So just imagine, going through that now, what would happen. So here's the thing, Rosario Dawson, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So she was on Luke Cage. So
Mm.
I just got to work with her on DMZ recently
Mm.
in Atlanta. So that's coming out too. So it's like I come 360 with these people. Like when I was on the center, I got to work with um Carrie Coon. And then
Hmm.
well, actually, I was on the post prior to that. I was doing extra work on it. I was featured, and I got to I was working with her. Then I get to be her right hand as a principal on the center. And then as far as Luke Cage, I was working beside Rosario Dawson, but I didn't have a scene with her. And then it turns out later on, just 2 weeks ago, I was on DMZ with her. And prior to that, Alfre Woodard, 10 years to the date, I auditioned to be her double to ride in the car when they did the scenes. I didn't get it, but then I end up working right beside her. So I feel like my life goes 360. And if you put it out there and you keep going, I could have given up, but I didn't, and I just kept it moving.
Yeah. No, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, definitely. I've always admired that you were probably one of the most passionate, actresses that I've met. So I think it's a great thing. Again, I'm gonna say this, I know, and then I'll get back to the main topics of the interview. But yeah, she was in Luke Cage. She's gonna be in another Marvel show. Okay. Here's the thing. So I know that like everyone knows that Marvel has this tight-lipped policy. You literally can't say anything about it. But
Nope.
I'm going to. I'm not doing this to screw with you, okay? But like here's the thing. I know I'm a Marvel fanatic, so I know which shows are in production or which ones are about to go in production. So hang on. So you're She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel. Actually, no. I think what is it? Miss Marvel already wrapped. Um, it's not Hawkeye because that's coming in a few months. So Moon Knight, She-Hulk. I know they're doing other shows.
He's trying to
Those,
guess.
those are the main shows that I know are in production right now. Okay, I will find. I mean, obviously, we're all gonna find out later, but yeah, I know. I know. Again, I know that you can't say editing, but I'm just saying for everyone watching, she's probably in one of those shows. So if I'm right, I'm right. So there you go. But yeah. So and then really quickly, I just want to say, yeah. Thank you, Mocha Mama. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Again, that is part of this channel's mission statement is to not only talk about who's dating who and whatnot, but also to, give people, people who may be overlooked by the mainstream or whatever. It's I always appreciate that. I enjoy it. And Mocha Mommy is a great person. She has a great YouTube channel too. But thank you, Mocha Mommy.
Thank
Um,
you.
so let's get back to here. I'll resume playing these clips, and you can also tell us.
Okay.
So here we go.
Yeah, that clip was the long game, and that was a like I said, that was I was the third person hired to be that detective. They kept getting people who had other things to do, so when I came along, I got to do that, and it was a really challenging role for me. Number one, because I had just lost my mom, and I went away on a vacation just to clear my head. When I came back, I couldn't remember my lines. It was rough. The director yelled at me. It's
Mm.
all good because guess what? It all worked out in the end, and it's one of those things where I really think that I do roles that are in charge.
Mm-hmm.
This is that was a grad school Hofstra, and it won second place. I was playing a lawyer. This was an old clip. I was just playing a young woman who was friends with somebody else. That's a drill sergeant. I was on a one of those, what do you call those, Lifetime movies. This was a short film by my friend Gilbert Soto, and it kind of turned into a stunt. I get kind of slapped, and I told him, let's do it as a stunt. That's my friend Norman Outlaw working beside me. I really had a good time playing that. We did that in his kitchen. It was so much fun. I think we did like 3 days on that. Yep, there it is. And I lose a tooth, which is a
Mm.
real tooth. It was just a, a temporary, but it had come out, so I used it in the scene, and we used fake blood for it. And that might be the end of it. I think that's the end of the reel. Uh-oh, I think we've stalled. I can't hear you, Francois. Okay, well, guys, people who are on live, I think we may have stalled. But anyway, what he's doing is he's interviewing me on StreamYard.com, and we're having trouble with syncing the audio. So anyway, while we wait for him to come back in, I just want to let you know that's why I'm looking this way, and I wanted to just let everybody come in and watch. So thank you for watching, guys. This is really a lot of fun for me, especially when someone who kind of enjoys your work and wants to like be in that world you're in. Oh, we're back. We're back. So we're back. So excuse us for a second, guys. Hey, are you back? I can see myself, but I can't see you. Okay, so we're still waiting for him to come back in. So anyway, um, I worked with Francois in a short film for in California. I was supposed to go out there, but then I got booked to work on Succession, and then I was supposed to go out again, and I got booked on DMZ. So every time I get to work with him, I'm getting booked. So the second one, he did it as a um, Zoom, so that really worked out well. And he has a YouTube channel, and he deals with people who interracial dating, mainly from the Asian Black perspective. But he says pretty much all. He likes BIPOC actors, so he likes to interview them. So that's what he's doing right now. He's interviewing me, and I don't know why I don't see him, but I'm going to go ahead and end this on Facebook Live and say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and I'm super excited. I'm in Atlanta. I'm working on a new show, and it is highly secretive, but it's a dream come true, and I'm so excited. So, smooches. I just signed my contract. Peace out, guys. Love you. I'm still waiting for him to come back in. I see him, but he doesn't see me. Yeah, I did. I sure did. It was actually, I had already lost a tooth, but that was the temporary. Not sure if you could see me. I'm in the show. Everyone can see and hear me, but I don't see him.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, here he comes. Yay,
Yeah.
God!
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, the internet was kind of acting up a little
Wonky.
bit.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, so yeah, we will hit this next clip.
Okay.
Just I want to get to it really quickly. But before we start talking about that, I do want to say that, like, this is another show that I really liked a lot, and it went for a few seasons, but it was actually recently, I think, canceled,
Yeah.
which is
After
unfortunate.
6 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great show. I feel like, honestly, superhero movies and superhero shows are getting really really dark, and they're very serious and whatnot. And so I think, as an unfortunate side effect, is that you sort of lose that broad appeal that you have. You know what I mean, to younger
Yes.
audiences, and especially, what I mean, like younger audiences, like kids or teenagers or whatever. But I feel like this show, Black Lightning, one part of the reason why it lasted for a few seasons, and also because, well, also part of the reason why it was so good is because it appealed to broader audiences,
Yes, you did.
like family audiences. Basically, what I'm trying to say is
Yes.
it's a show, a superhero show that is for families. You know what I
For
mean? Family
families.
audiences.
And it really did stress the family value. Yes.
Hmm.
The love. It did.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely. It was a great show, and so
Hmm.
that's what we're gonna get into next. Again, Faye and everyone watching at home, this is not. There's no audio for this. Sorry, I don't know how to fix it. I will eventually fix it, but in the meantime, let's take a look at Faye's stunts right here. So here we go.
So what you're seeing right there is Christine Adams, and then as it goes on, that you'll see me.
Oh,
Oh, if you want to go back to it again because it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
happens so quickly, or that might just be, so that's Christine, then that's me. So
Okay.
I'm the one taking the hit on the stairs, and that was a very dangerous stunt actually. And here's the story behind that. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to pause it for a second, the story behind that stunt
Mm-hmm.
is, it was kind of serendipitous. It's really weird. I really look like her. I drove down to Atlanta to audition for the stunts that they were doing. I didn't get hired, but then everyone was busy during this stunt, and they don't normally hire outside of Atlanta. But what
Mm-hmm.
ended up happening was, because I look like her and nobody else was available, they went ahead and took a chance with me. And
Mm-hmm.
I flew out there. They flew me out there. They did everything. They put me up, gave me a car, and I had to get that stunt right. They had a
Mm-hmm.
railing, it was a breakaway. It was only two railings. If I didn't do it the first time, I had to do it the second time and get it right. Tasha Smith was the director, and I adore her. So guess what? I got it right the first time, and Tasha jumped up and said, "Yes, yes, sis, yes." I mean, hugs all around. And all eyes were on me. When I tell you the pressure's on, if this is something you want to do, you better be ready for it, because that was pressure right there.
Mm-hmm.
This clip right here that you're looking at, that's me on the Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
I was hired to do the Watchmen with Regina King. She was on that show, and that was they're doing right there. They're doing a 3D imaging of me, so I had to like turn around each quarter, and they would do a 3D image, because when it came out on screen, we were actually on a green screen. And our image was, superimposed. So that was a lot of fun. It ended up not being in the series, but I got credit for it. I was on the in the credits, so I don't actually have any footage of me, which kind of sucks, but it's all good. I did the work. I'm getting the
Yeah.
residuals. That's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Hmm.
again, like it's so awesome that you're part of like these groundbreaking, like shows and films. Like Watchmen, I guess I guess it sort of like polarized certain people. Maybe it was a little
Yes.
bit more divisive than some other projects, but I thought it was good. I mean, I loved how they handled Doctor Manhattan. I loved how they handled the references to the Squid. I liked Regina King, and I like everybody in it.
And it
I
was very much into the history, Black
mhm
history.
mhm
And if you realize, it was talking about like Greenwood, Rosewood, excuse me. It was also talking about Tulsa. All of that was made reference in this series, and a lot of people didn't know about it.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you guys have not seen the series Watchmen, you're missing out. I think it might be on DVD or HBO Plus or
HBO
Max, whatever it's
Max.
called.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's great. So we have
Oh, my friend Kim Coles.
yeah, we have all here a lot of stills that Faye sent me as
Yeah,
well.
that's also me. Was one of the people that we were on. That's Vicky Judy from Orange is the New Black. I run into her all the time. We also did another series called New Amsterdam together. That's my girl.
Mm, that's awesome.
Thank you.
We have
That's me
here.
on the center. That's Carrie Coon. You see Bill. Yeah, you see right here on the left hand side. That's Bill. That's Carrie. That's me. And that's Bill Pullman, and that is Natalie DePaul. Right.
Hmm.
We did a second season of The Sinner.
Mm, that's great. That's really
Thank
great.
you.
We have
And
here.
yeah, I was doing a L'Oreal project. That's one of my modeling projects. I'm still waiting for that to come out. I'm the face of L'Oreal, waiting for it to come out, but we'll see soon.
Awesome.
That's just
Here
my
you
book
go.
face.
Hmm.
That's me on DMZ. Just recently, I did that 2 weeks ago. That's my Black Lightning. I like to do it with all the studio chairs. Yeah, that's me on the Equalizer. That's actually Luke Cage. They used to call it Tiara. That's the center. And then I do my that's in LA Minute. I played a homeless woman. That was my very first role on as a that's the center right there. That's oh, DMZ. And then that was what do you call that show? The Watchmen right before that. But anyway, what I like to do is I like to take photos in front of my the chairs and in my trailer, in my wardrobe, because I pinch myself saying, is this real? And
Hmm.
at this point in time, I'm actually saying this is something that I worked hard for and it's coming to fruition. I'm very, very grateful for every role that I get. This one by far that I'm going to be doing, and I'll be doing stunts on it. I can honestly say right now, you all heard it, we'll be getting Emmys for this one. Trust me when I tell you.
Mm.
We're going to get an Emmy for this. And I'll be going down that red carpet for the very first time. I have a lot of dates that I have to bring with me because I promised them along the way. But hey, maybe you'll be one of them.
Um, but yeah, well, thank you. So yeah, so that's great. Thank you for sharing all those clips and images with us. Like I said, this is the first time that I'm interviewing, an actress for this channel. But at the same time, it's yeah. That's like I said before. That's part of the reason why I want to do this channel. So yeah, so I just have a few questions for you. So number one, especially this is definitely more, I think, beneficial for, like, everyone watching right now, or everyone watching after the fact. So as an actress, obviously you've definitely been in the game for a while. You've been at it for a while, so you know exactly what it's like, both the highs and the lows. But what advice would you give to someone who is, maybe not even acted before a day in their life, right? And is interested, and might have some questions about how to, sort of get your foot in the door, and also in terms of, well, actually, yeah, sorry, I have another question, but yeah, if you could please answer that first question, that'd be awesome.
Sure. Well, to anyone, and this goes across the board for anything you want to do, make sure you have a passion for it. Because if you don't have a passion for it, you're wasting people's time, you're wasting your time, and anything you do takes time. So you have to put your all into it. Know, study, and practice. So know what you have to do, study the craft, practice it. And then the other thing is enjoy it. But take time for self. Never give up, and if you do decide that this is not what you want to do, don't beat yourself up. This is a hard, hard industry. And I'm really surprised I still have the energy at my age to really want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, seriously, I've done some stuff that most people would not do to make things happen. Hence, riding on a bus from New York overnight to Atlanta just to get here in time for an audition, not knowing if you're going to get it or not. The bus breaks down because there's a fire on it. Jeez, I mean, the things that you do to for what you want. So make sure this is your passion. It could tire you out. So make sure you get your rest. Take care of your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, and just give it your all.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Um, you know, uh, so yeah. Also, I guess sort of. Okay, sorry. Let me start over. So, I have another question, and it's a little bit more serious, I guess. So obviously, I've talked to other actors about this, and their experiences are obviously their own, and experiences vary from person to person. But like I've been saying, I feel like actors of color in general, they have it. I mean, no one's ever going to deny that they have it harder than non actors of color or whatever. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like you just said, if it's your passion, if you get are motivated to pursue your goal, then you shouldn't give up. But at the same time, I do want to shed light on, everyone's sort of candid and maybe not so positive experiences in the industry.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so, but at the same time, the reason why I'm bringing that up is not just to, bring the mood down or whatever, but it's also to show that despite whatever, shit happens to you, that you are still
Mhm.
here, that you persist and that you follow your dream. So
Yes.
can you yeah? So can you please share us, any experiences that you had that were uncomfortable or made you feel uncomfortable, or,
Sure.
even like discriminated or excluded, due to like
Hmm.
certain things like your race or your gender or anything like that?
Yeah, well, first of all, I can remember when I was doing background work, and let's take Luke Cage, for instance. So there were two people in particular. There was a PA, production assistant, and another background person who, for some reason, just weren't feeling me. That's fine. We don't all have to get along, right? We don't even have to interact unless we're working. And this one day, like my mom had dementia, and this one day I had someone I thought was going to help her and stay with her, and they didn't. So I just didn't want to not show up. That's kind of bad, even as a background person. So I showed up to set with my mom. I asked, can she stay? Um, Marvel has a very strict rule, no visitors, no. And he was like, he could have just said no. I mean, I took a chance, but the way he did it was kind of rude and, not so kind. And then this person that was there, she had been rude to me my first time ever on a set, ever when I first moved back to New York. And it just wasn't cool. So anyway, fast forward, my mom, I let her sit in the car, but I knew she normally stays there. So when we had a break, I asked the PA, can I go check on her? So he was like, look, we're just going to let you go. And he was really
Mm-hmm.
nasty about it, but it's okay because I'm still going to get paid for the day. I didn't worry about it. It wasn't all that bad. So I go to sign out, and I go to the car. My mom's gone. Uh, the worry, the fear, just just take it. Just imagine what I went through. So I didn't want them to know about it. So I went to the fire department to see if they can help me. They told me to call the police. So after looking for her, I couldn't find her. I finally did go call the police. And then as I was going to go back to where the set was, I saw my mom. I found her. And so um, fast forward, after my mom passes, uh, I'm giving out thank you cards. I'm sending them out in the post office, and I get a call that they want me to work on Luke Cage doing stunts with Alfre Woodard, who 10 years to the date, I wanted to be on that show with her, cried my eyes out. Now I'm sitting in a makeup chair right beside her. Okay, now we're on set. They do what they call a private rehearsal with the director and the necessary people. Then after that, they call it marking rehearsal. So your stand-in has to see it, the PA has to see so he can direct the background people, and your stand-in has to be there so that they can see what marks to take so that they can get your lighting right. Who was my stand-in person? That background person who was mean and nasty to me. Who was the PA? That PA who was mean and nasty to me would not let my mom. So remember now, I was in the post office sending out the thank you letters to my mom's memorial. I tell you, if you don't believe in this, I believe my mom was my guardian angel. And she had that person and that person there to show me that This is karma. And I could see both of them staring at me, both of them. But that day I went through so much emotion. I lost my mom. I thought I couldn't find her. Just the word, what am I going to tell my siblings? Why did I have her sit in the car? Which is really not the smartest thing in the world. But if you notice this business, if you don't show up, you get, it's bad, even as a background person. So that was people, that was an example of people not treating me nice, and something that I had to do to get done. I sacrificed my mom, and I'll never do that again. I can't now. She's not here with us anymore, but I would never do that ever again to anyone. So yeah, this business can make you do some crazy things. You have to have your mind right.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Leah, thank you very much for sharing that. Um, I mean, it sort of needs to be said also that, like acting, is not, like always, sunshine and rainbows and stuff. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have, random shit happen to you for no real reason. It just sort of happens. But
No rhyme, no reason, and you don't even try to figure it out. Just go with the flow, keep it moving. Because, like Blair Underwood told me, this is a numbers game. Your number is going to come up. And when it does, all that hard work and everything that you've been through won't even matter anymore. Okay?
yeah,
Now you are where you need to be.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. 110%. I completely agree. So, so let's see. So I guess like that being said, like on the opposite side of that, can you share us like what has been, I guess, your most enjoyable, or I guess, beneficial experience, in acting so far. So yeah.
I have to say, um, so many. Number one, it was my very first ever um a SAG job. I was living in Atlanta. I was in Italy dancing, and I got a call that they needed some dancers on this new movie. They were about to wrap, but they needed dancers, and I was like, okay, I can get there when I can audition when I get there. And at that time in Atlanta, you had to drive 7 hours to Wilmington to audition for 2 minutes and drive back 7 hours. We didn't do videotaping, anything like that. So I got back from Italy. I was really tired. I was really jet lagged. I drove the 7 hours with my dog. I barely made it without, running off the road. Um, I auditioned. It was a dance role, so I kind of felt confident, and it was kind of, on your own. You improvised, and I did it, and I couldn't drive back. I just couldn't make it. So I got a hotel room. I had my dog with me. I left my dog in the car. I went to go put my stuff up. By the time I go back to get my dog, I see I have a call. You made it. Go to fitting right away. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited. I wanted to jump and scream. They're like, yeah, we're going to put you in a hotel. Well, I had to go and get my money back from the hotel. They put my dog up in the kennel. They put me in a 5-star hotel. I was there 2 days. They gave me per diem. We worked 24 hours because it was the last day of the show. And when the check came, it was well over $5,000. It was my first ever SAG job. I was not expecting that money. And when the check came, I was walking with my dog to go to the car, and I opened up the envelope and I see 5,000. I look at my dog. I look at the check. My dog's like, "What's up?" And I do this loud scream.
Mm-hmm.
I live like in a what do you call it? There's a building here, a building here, a building there, sort of like a cul-de-sac, and a parking lot in the middle. So my voice just echoed, and everybody's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Shit, yeah!"
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited. That is one. Another one was, of course, the one I just told you about, Alfre Woodard. I cannot believe I'm sitting next to Alfre Woodard after 10 years to the date. What that was just serendipitous. And then another one is this one right now. I trained, I prayed for this, I worked for this, and I am here. I get a phone call saying, "Can you work on this show?" 2 weeks. Yes, I can do it. I want to jump up, I want to scream, and I'm going to tell you, when you find out about this, I'm telling you, if you didn't hear it first, I'm going to be getting an Emmy for this as a stunt performer. Not because I've done anything really, really awesome. It's because it's the production itself. and the people on the production have gotten an Emmy before for the show. So I'm just saying, this just trumps all. It just gets better and better and better with time. Really, it does. I'm super excited. I really want to tell you it all, but I can't. And this is hard for me because I'm the kind of person that blabs. I have to really work on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, yeah, thank you very much, for sharing that. Again, like, a lot of people watching this will definitely appreciate, sort of your very infectious, positivity and whatnot. So yeah. Um, so let's see here. So hang on, there's something that I want to do. Let's see here. Every Marvel hang on. Okay. So I'm going to. This goes back to sort of the. Again, I'm not getting in trouble, so don't worry. But I had to do this, so. Okay, so we're gonna do some math here. We're gonna try to determine which one you're in. So, okay, hang on. So it's a show. So we had to. It's a show. Where are the shows? This is like Oh yeah, hang on. Where is this? Let's see. Classic for Blade. Yes, we know What If is coming out. Miss Marvel, that has already wrapped, so I don't think that's it. Hawkeye is also wrapped, so that I don't think so. She-Hulk is scheduled for next year, which means it could be that one. It could be Moon Knight. It could be, well, we haven't said this yet. It could be Secret Invasion. Again, everyone watching at home, I am not confirming or denying which one she's in. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm an outsider, so this is all just speculation, okay? But this is what hardcore Marvel fans do. We try to dissect every little thing and figure out on our own because we have no patience. So that's Secret Invasion, which, by the way, honestly, Secret Invasion is probably my most anticipated show coming up. I love that cast.
Wow.
I love that cast. Ironheart. Oh, yeah, we didn't say Ironheart yet. Ironheart. So that's coming out, I think, next year or the year after. Armor Wars. The Wakanda series. I know they're shooting the Black Panther 2 right now, but I don't know when this show goes into production. So there's the Wakanda series as well. What else do we have? I think that's it. I actually
That's
think that's
it.
I don't know.
Yep, that's all. It's one of those.
It is one of, well, okay, all right, cool. So yeah, that's great. Again, I do not want to get in trouble, so we'll stop there with that. But so one more thing, Faye. Well, a couple more things, but the main thing is yeah. So I guess. Okay, so obviously, like I said, this channel, we do, our main topic is, sort of romance and dating, relationships and stuff like that. And I know, that you said, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that you are single right now? You're
I
currently
am
single?
single. Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that, that you are definitely a career-driven woman and all that stuff. But like I said, we kind of want to, for this next question, if it's okay with you, we'd like to sort of tie it back to the other mission statement of this channel. And so big, obviously what we stand for here is AMBW, Asian Man, Black Woman. Now, I'm not trying to pry or anything like that. I don't know if you actually ever dated an Asian guy before, but can you tell us a little bit about your, dating experiences, in general? And, I guess because, like I said, dating is a very popular topic in the world, right? Like most everyone can relate to it. So what are some of your, I guess, lessons, if anything, that you've learned from your dating experiences? Anything you can, look back at it now and sort of laugh or, say it was no big deal because I learned this and this from that? Like, what are some of those?
I learned that you can have fun and should have fun. All my dating experiences have been fun, and I'm friends with all but two. And I that's not really saying too much. I haven't dated a whole lot in my 60 years. My dating experiences have been long. They
Mm-hmm.
have been long. After everyone that I've dated, they've all gotten married
Mm-hmm.
because they knew I did not want to be married. And but I have to say, I've never been in love and I've never been asked to be married. And that may surprise some people, but I've never been in love. And I can say I've been in and I've liked all of the people that I've been with and I've loved them, but I have not been in what people consider in love. I actually look at it and I go, ugh, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't. I cannot. I mean, some of the things that they do, I'm like, I would get bored. I would get tired. But you don't know. I said, maybe I'll do it when I'm 60. But now I'm going on 60. I'm like, yeah, no. But I do enjoy the dating process. I do enjoy going out with someone that I love, that I enjoy being with, I look up to, a protector, a provider. When I say a provider, I love men who make money with their brains. They are just the ultimate and sexy to me. I like a nerd, but the nerd has to have some swag. Okay. And they have to be tall. I've dated outside of my race. Never. I fooled around outside of my race, but I've never dated outside of my race. And I think that would be a little difficult for me because I'm all into the Black experience, and I do understand that my Black brothers have it hard, and there's for me, I'm a good woman, and I'm someone that they could look up to and be proud to be with. And I'm not being conceited. I'm just being real. I mean, I know how I love. I know who I am, and I know the love I can give. And I would prefer to save myself for one, a deserving, African American. We'll see. So I haven't dated it's been like maybe 12 years. I haven't dated in the past 12 years. I've gone out with people, I've gone on dating sites, but they were not anyone that I would ever want to even remotely be involved with. So I haven't dated seriously in the last 12 years. Wow. Yeah. I've gone out a couple of times, and that's not recent. So now that I have my own space, I just moved out of my sister's space. I hadn't had a space since I left Atlanta in 2009. Now I have my own space. I might consider, no, I will consider, dating again, but I'm not trying to do that. This business is a lot. It's a lot. But I think once there's a certain status that I make, I'll be around people, and it'll happen easier for me. It'll probably happen maybe by just being in close proximity to someone, longevity, being around that person, like they joke around and call them their set wife and set husband. Maybe it'll happen that way, or maybe it'll happen because someone working behind the scenes likes me or whatever. We'll see. But I can't actively go out and do it because I don't have the time.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And there to me, there's nothing wrong with being single. I mean, absolutely not. Because I feel like you shouldn't be judged on who you're with, or if you're with somebody, you should be judged on your own merit and what you decide to do with your life and all that stuff. And I feel like this, especially like not even my generation, but like the generation after me, like they are sort of fixated on like dating and hooking up and relationships and all that stuff. And it's just it takes away from the urgency of self. You know what I mean? Of just
Yes.
Focusing on yourself, or not even focusing, but just being yourself. And I feel like again, like yes, we are called AMBW channel, but we're not about forcing relationships, or what I mean, being
Right.
being needy, basically. You know what I mean? Telling yourself you need someone. Like dating should happen, I guess, rather spontaneous, as opposed to just by design all the time.
That's funny because everybody all of a sudden is trying to hook me up with their cousin. Why cousin? And here's the problem I have with that. Because if it doesn't work out, now I've offended your family. Not a good feeling. And the ones that they're hooking me up with, what if I don't like their looks? To me it's very visual, what if I don't like the way they smell? I mean, what if I don't like the way they chew? What if I don't like the way they drive? I mean, there's a lot of little things that can really irk you in a relationship. What if those things drive me crazy to the point where I don't want to be with them? Now I got to explain to you why I don't like your cousin. I can't. I'd rather it just be very organic. It just happen, because when it happens and that person is somebody I'm attracted to, butterflies. Oh, I love that feeling. All of that happens, and then it's a go. And
Mm-hmm.
but the person must understand that even with that, I'm still going to be true to my craft,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I'm just going to be focused on that. I do leave time for things that I like and I want to do, and I do like and want to date. I do. I like it. I want to. But when you're away from it for a while, I don't really miss it that much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't. I'm a weird one.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, it's fine. It's like, I think a lot of people feel that way. You know what I mean? Like the less you do something, the more time passes without it. Like you start to miss it less and less.
Hmm.
Um, so that's fine. I guess yeah. Again, there's nothing wrong with being single. You know what I mean? Even because I feel like it's worse for people to ostracize you and to make fun of you if you are single, and say, oh, there's something wrong with you, or say that you're unwanted or whatever. Because no, that's not the case. You know what I mean? It
Not
just
the case.
means it's not the case. So it just means that for whatever reason you're alone, but it doesn't mean you should, that does not mean that you have to, kill yourself, or that it's the end of the world for you or anything like that. Is definitely not the case at all. People should just.
Okay. Also, let me tell you, talking about killing yourself, the end of the world. I mean, on that note, but not seriously on that note. The thing is, a breakup
Mm-hmm,
for me is so heartfelt. I
mm-hmm,
mean, I really feel the pain in my heart. And even if it's mutual, the pain is there. I don't like that pain. And that takes time to get over. And then and then that's going to take away from what you're doing, you
mm-hmm,
know? So you got to be sure. The older I get, the more I want to be sure.
mm-hmm.
Not the
Yeah.
pickier I get. I still have the same values and morals that I've had about, who I want to partner, who I want to date. But um, the one thing that I have to say is that once that person um, pleases me aesthetically, mentally, physically, the whole 9 yards, I'm there. I'm there for you, and I
Mm-hmm.
support you, and we'll do this thing. And who knows, maybe later it will lead to matrimony. But in the meantime, I still have a goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And with that goal, that's where I'm focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Well, I completely agree with that. I completely agree. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, you know what I mean, and also, yeah, in general, you know what I mean, if you're alone, you know what I mean, or if you're with someone, or you're talking to someone, like, who really cares? It's really your business. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
We do live in a society. I know that's been said a lot, but we do live in a society where, like I said before, people do basically, they like to label other people. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're alone, you're weird, or you're a loner, you're unwanted, or there's something wrong with you. No, let me tell you, there's something wrong with you if you feel like you always need someone, right? Because
Yes.
I actually dated one of my ex girlfriends. Is she not to put her on the spot, but so I will not say her name, but she does have that issue where she does need someone there all the time. She needs to have a boyfriend. She needs to be in a relationship all the time.
All the
And I
time.
think and I think a lot of that has to do with her daddy issues and like
I
abandonment
was just going
issues.
to say
Yeah.
abandonment, separation. Yeah, it can happen. Yeah, my father didn't grow up with me. I didn't grow up with him, I should say. I'm close to my dad now. But even there, I wish he would take the initiative to try to at least make up for, the lost time. But
Mm-hmm.
because he is not that type of person, I have to understand and meet him where he is.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what he is and that's what he does, fine. He's never abused me or anything like that. He's a good person, and I'm pretty much like him in a lot of ways. Physically, we look alike. We do a lot. We're happy-go-lucky people, but I do know that part of that did mess with me as far as relationships, and I had to understand that part.
Mm-hmm.
And once I understood that, I knew what I wanted and didn't want in a relationship,
Right.
and I knew I didn't want children. So to
Right.
me, getting married was not the thing because I didn't want children, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Mm-hmm.
it didn't have anything to do with my father. It's just because I was a dancer, I didn't want to go through that with my body. I just didn't want to. I'm going to tell you, may sound funny, but I see people out with carriages and the husband and walking and go, ah, I just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, what do you want for dinner? Oh my God, just eat whatever, or you got to make a decision with somebody else. Just not feeling it. So if it does happen with me and we go there, I have to have my own bathroom. I probably have my own bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that I'm going to be in and out of town when I feel it. I don't cook, so don't ask me to cook for you. So there's a lot of things that I understand that most men would expect women to do. And I don't think it's fair for me to say, oh, I just want you to take care of me and I can't, reciprocate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe I'll find a man who doesn't care, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But more power to the people who have the children, who can do that in a relationship, because I think that they have um, strong commitments. I like that. I like
Mm-hmm.
that in them. I don't, you know, tease them or admonish them because they do it. I really respect them. I respect all
Mm-hmm.
mothers, because you were willing to do something I was not willing to do. So there's a lot I respect about them. But for me, it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I can like all the things that you've been saying right now is sort of um you bring up a lot of points I haven't necessarily touched on yet in my channel. So I think that's great. You know what I mean? I like having different perspectives and stuff like that because not everybody, especially here, all my viewers and stuff, not everyone has the same opinion. You know what I mean? As me
Yeah,
or as someone else speaking, and it's great to have someone, on this channel who is basically kind of speaking their language. You know what I mean? And they completely agree with them, or they're just looking for someone to sort of reaffirm their own opinions and
sure.
beliefs and stuff like that. And I think it's wonderful. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you go right now, Faye, because we've been going on for a little while. But I want to say thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. I know again you're a very busy woman, but that's great. I think what you're doing is a wonderful thing, and
Thank you.
I'm not an actor or anything like that, but like I said, it definitely is very inspiring. I would definitely imagine, especially to like other aspiring actors and people who want to get in the foot in the door and definitely have done what or trying to do what you've already done. So that being said, before I let you go, I do want to say one more thing. And this is sort of like for fun, but at the same time, if something happens out of it, great. But so obviously you are single, right?
Yes.
Again, it's not really my business whether or not you're actually looking for something or not. But at the same time, just hypothetically, right? So you are single. So can you say like what? Well, I guess you kind of already touched upon this, but like you haven't been asked this officially yet, so that's fine. I'll just ask it again. So what exactly are you looking for in a potential match? You know what I mean? For people who are watching this or whatever, you know what I mean? What are qualities that are important to you in a guy?
Honesty, integrity, same thing, but still. Gotta be true to yourself, gotta be true to your word, gotta be true to me.
Mm-hmm.
And anything I ask, I will be totally giving that. Um, Sense of humor. You have to have a sense of hygiene. You have to have a sense of health. You must take care of yourself, health wise. I don't particularly care for people who smoke anything. I don't care if it's weed, cigarettes, cigars. I really don't care for smokers. I don't really care for people who are not health conscious. I mean, they can eat whatever they want because sometimes I'll eat whatever I want, but I'm to the point where it's going to ruin your body.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in moderation. I like people who are or who think about what they eat. A man has to love his mother, whether she's alive or not. Respect his mother, respect his sisters. Um, he has to be a gentleman. I like a
Mm-hmm.
gentleman. Yeah, I'm from New York, but chivalry is not dead to me. I date only or have only dated Southern gentlemen
Mm-hmm.
because that's just what they do. I like you to
Mm-hmm.
open the door. You have to do it every time. But if I'm all dressed up, I got my heels on, yeah, come around the side, open that door for me. you know, it is your job, my job. I have jobs too, and I get it. And I wasn't always the person who think that I should have jobs. My job is to love and support my my spouse, my significant other, my boyfriend, whatever. So anything I ask, I will also give in return. And the last thing is the person must make money because life is better with money. You can have more fun with money. I don't mean he has to make $1 zillion. No, not at all. Not at all. He doesn't have to make more than me, but he has to make a substantial amount of money so that we can enjoy ourselves and enjoy life. And life is that money is not one of the things that we talk about. And he has to make that money with his brain. I'm not necessarily saying he has to be a doctor, lawyer, judge, whatever. Those things are fine, but they also take away from time you have with your mate because those are very busy jobs. But if that person is technically smart, great, and you make money with your mind that way, if you're a director and people look up to you and this and that, you're good at what you do, those kind of things are the things I look for. I look for those kind of men. They have to be a protector. They have to be a protector. I didn't get that growing up from a father. I got it from my godfather, but he wasn't, there every day like my father should have been or could have been. And the last thing is he has to be tall. I'm 5'9". He has to be taller than me. I used to say darker. I love tall, dark men, but I'm gonna throw that out there. He doesn't have to have that because I'm opening myself up now to whomever or whatever fits the bill. And last but not least, he has to have that element of surprise to me. He has to surprise me. Have to be wanting to surprise me and woo me and just be romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, great. Well, guys, all the guys watching this video, you should take notes. And if you fit any of those qualifications, then you should contact Faye immediately. No, I'm just kidding. But whatever. No. But also, yeah. On that note, so I will let you go. But where can people find you?
Oh, I'm on all things social media. Faye Yvette McQueen. FayYvettMcQueen. All social media platforms. Faye Yvette McQueen, including TikTok, including Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, everything. LinkedIn. All social media. Faye Yvette McQueen.
Okay. Well, great. Well, yeah. Thank you, guys. You heard it here yourself. So, yeah. Again, Faye. So that will mark the end of this interview. But I do appreciate you for taking time on a very busy schedule to speak
Thank
with
you.
us. And yeah, thank you, and everyone watching this home, if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, then let me know. But otherwise, yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. So, ciao.
Ciao.